Hello everyone, it's Dr. Kelly Cassidy, clinical psychologist and owner at Prosper Health Collective. Today I want to give you my top 5 tips on how to choose a good psychologist. Now I completely understand that when you are about to spend your money, you want to make sure that you're getting someone who's good. I know I do the same when I get an electrician in or a plumber or whatever other service. My hairdresser even, I want to make sure that they're good and they're going to do a really good job for me. So it makes sense that you maybe would be thinking about that for a psychologist as well. So here are my top 5 tips for knowing how to assess whether a psychologist is going to be good, or more importantly, whether they're going to be the right match for you. And that's the thing that I want you to think about in particular. Now, we know that that match between you and your psychologist is important. As psychologists, we call it the Therapeutic alliance. What that really means, though, is, can you tune into this person? Do you get along with them? You're just in the same way that we wouldn't be friends with every person we ever meet. Every psychologist you come across isn't necessarily going to be the right match either. So it's okay to take some time to think about whether they're going to be the right person for you. And if they are, then the chances are that you'll increase your chances of getting the good outcome that you want, of helping you with that thing that is bringing you to see a psychologist in the first place. So my first suggestion is that you have a look at their qualifications. Are they a registered psychologist or clinical psychologist? There's lots of people out there who say that they do what we do, but they're not actually registered with the Australian Health Practitioners Regulation Authority, or AHPRA as it's known. So you want to think about that. But even then, beyond their qualifications, you want to have a think about what their level of experience is. Do they have experience in the area that you're seeking help with? So for instance, if you've had a traumatic event and you want to go and see a psychologist to get help with that, does the person you're going to see, have they had experience treating trauma? Because if they haven't, they may not be able to help you in the same way that somebody who has experience in that area can. So certainly have a think about what their areas are. Tip number 2, what type of therapy do they do, and what sort of what we call theoretical orientation do they have? Now, that might sound a bit technical, but there are lots of different types of therapy. So for example, to treat depression, there's CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Someone might be using a psychoanalytic approach. They might be using hypnosis. They might be using interpersonal therapy. There's a whole host of others that's out there to treat depression. So the way that different treatment approaches are used may or may not fit with you, and you want to check that. Often psychologists will have a range of different treatment approaches that they might have, and they'll choose the best one to match you, but it's something that you might consider investigating yourself or having a think about. Most importantly, what you do want to check is that whatever treatment that person's using is that it's evidence-based. Now, what I mean by that is that there's research to support that it works, okay? Because if they're not doing that, then you may not get what you want out of the treatment. So that's really, really important as well. My third tip is to think about those demographic factors. And you might be surprised to hear me say that, but I do think it's really important. So by demographics, I mean things like the psychologist's age, their gender, their sexuality, their culture, their religion, whatever it is that might matter to you. Now that's really common for people. We'll often have people come across to see us and say, no, I only want to speak to a woman, or no, I think that person's too young, I want someone who's older. That's okay. Completely fine with us. So take some time to think about that. Go onto the psychologist website, have a look at their biography, have a look at their photo, and decide for yourself, is this person going to be a good match for me? Do I like the feeling that I get when I'm reading about this person and how they look? Or is it what I had in mind when I see myself seeking help for whatever problem I'm experiencing at the moment? That's okay too. Take some time to do that. Tip number 4 if you're feeling uncertain, make contact. You have the right to ask to speak to that person before you actually go to your first appointment. And if they're not willing to do that, then that might be an indicator in itself. So by all means, ring up and say, can I just have a quick chat to you, a quick hello? Now, they can't get into a full-on appointment with you over the phone. That wouldn't be okay. But certainly just to answer any quick questions, help set your mind at ease, that's fine. So, and I certainly encourage you to do that so that you get the sense that the person that you're seeking help from is going to help you. And then tip number 5 is go to your first appointment and assess at that point in time, or at the end of that time, whether that person's a good match for you. All right? Now, if they're a good psychologist, they'll be talking to you about that too. They'll be saying to you, look, it's important for us to have a good match here. If we get to the end of today and you don't think I'm a good match for you, let me help you find someone else who will be a good match for you. Okay? And again, that's okay, because you're going to be investing a lot of time and effort and money into seeing this person. So you want to make sure that they're the right person for you. All right? So be thinking about that as you go through your appointment. So they're my 5 tips, just to recap them. Have a look at that person's qualifications and their areas of experience. Think about the type of treatment that they're using and whether you'd be okay with that. Have a think about those demographics. Make contact with them if you feel you need to. And finally, go to the first appointment and then make a decision after that. I hope you find that useful in you assessing what psychologist you want to go and see. I encourage you to go onto our website and have a read of the biographies of all the psychologists here at Prosper Health Collective, and contact us if you want to talk to us about how we can help you. We'd be more than happy to do so. That's all for me for now. As always, here at Prosper Health Collective, we're working together with you to help you flourish and thrive. I will look forward to speaking with you again very soon, but bye for now.